Welcome to the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. Whether inside or outside the loop, we are talking everything soccer in Houston. Y'all ready? Let's get it. Houston, welcome to another episode of the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. My name is Rudy Segura. I am happy to be here, and I'm happy that everybody gets to join, not just me, but as well my co-host, my favorite person in the world, my brother from another mother, Cristian Putalias. Sorry that you had to be Argentinian, brother. I mean, we can't be perfect.
Can't all be perfect, right?
Welcome. How you doing, brother? It's been a minute since we last spoke.
Is that me and you in your shirt or what?
Yeah, that's you and me. You want to be? I should be the one writing, right? I should be the one driving this thing.
You're driving. I'm in the back just pedaling,
chilling, bro, chilling.
With the hat and everything.
Yeah. I'm glad that you know what? I was telling the guys, I didn't even realize there was a show comments thing till you started recording by yourself. And the Kavala almost pulled off, man. It got close. It got close. But we are not alone. We are joined also, but the one and only Ms. Madelyn Stewart. Maddie, welcome to the show.
Hey guys.
I'm gonna have to move her to the middle, but how are you, Maddie?
I'm good. Happy to be here. I feel like I'm invading your guys' space, but I'm having so much fun with it. So
we absolutely love it. One thing that I've really enjoyed since you became a part of the Bayou City Soccer is you have the time to be out there with the fans, and you have been getting really good content and get everybody hyped and excited. And I love it. I love seeing that. Yeah. And I was laughing and telling you guys, I was like, man, I have this thing in my head. It's I think we can pull it off. And just giving Maddie or Madelyn some direction, and she pulls it off and is like, I think we can pull it off. Kaboom. But am I echoing a little bit?
Yes. I don't know why.
Weird. Okay. But yeah, man, I'm glad that you guys are here. Excited that you guys are here. I think Madelyn may be freezing. That's what may be the issue here.
I think so.
I'm gonna remove her. See if Maddie, come back when you're available.
Maddie, come back.
But yeah, man, how you been, Chris? It's been a minute. You were able to be at the game this weekend, so we'll definitely get a perspective of that. And I know you weren't able to close out the World Cup talk. We probably won't definitely touch on that since we kind of closed that already. But man, just how excited are you with the season being back? Already 2 games a hand for the Dynamo, and there's goals, man. There's goals happening.
There's a lot going on. The Dynamo honestly did. They had I think we're going to talk about it, right? But they had a good week. I think it started kind of rocky, right? We expected a lot more on Wednesday. And then they finished off very strong. So I came back with a little bit of notes. So I actually did some homework. I was actually in there by myself. Unfortunately, well, some of you guys were out. Some of you guys were in the stadium. But I was just there concentrating, watching the game, analyzing, looking up stats, and just doing some homework for today. I was really excited to come back and just, get back on Bayou City Soccer and honestly talk Dynamo. I feel like we're back and we're hungrier than ever, especially after after the World Cup and everything. And I think we're going to get a lot more new fans. And just welcome everybody. If you haven't been here, this is who we are. We're going to talk Dynamo. We're going to talk Dash on Wednesdays with the boys over there in Orange and Blueprint. And we're just happy that you guys are here to join us to talk some soccer. I'm sure you guys are having withdrawals, and we did too. But luckily, we got Dynamo Wednesday and then Saturday back to back. So
I had big time withdrawals. I wasn't able to really go out and be about with Fan Fest. I was getting all the hype from Madelyn and her mom just tearing up Houston and all this massive Fan Fest. So I was like, I think when we last week, I told Madelyn, man, I'm gonna try to make it to all 3 games, right? Like the Dynamo, Dash, Dynamo 2, we're all playing at home. And I made it to the first game, and then after that, I got my butt kicked by I feel like every single time my wife invites people over, she wants the house spotless. So I was like doing everything, and I was like, dude, I'm just exhausted. And that I was way too much talk. Oh man, she got booted out again. That wasn't me this time. I don't know what's happening with Madelyn, but hopefully she gets in here and gets able to talk. But yeah, so I went to the Dash game. I got to cover the Dash games. I told the guys that I got to see Diego. Shout out to Diego, the legend, and Manny. I got to see both of them, and I told him, I'm like, hey man, I'm here at the game. I could make an appearance for Bayou or for the Orange and Blueprints on Wednesday. So we'll see if I make that happen. I don't have. Usually I'm busy on Wednesdays. I usually go to church on Wednesday nights, and but it's summer, so we have that break going on. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. Let's go ahead and get started. If Maddie gets
So I was fighting with the son of a guy. I got him.
Oh god,
mosquito
trying to eat you alive, man. That's a lot of blood.
A biscuit.
Do you feel like you're gonna faint? Maybe.
Watch him pass out in the middle of the podcast.
Yeah, just like
no,
pass out.
We're good.
I was saying let's go ahead and get started. I guess if you want, man, if you want to tell people how they can connect with us,
of course,
and all that good stuff.
Yeah, if you're an oldie but a goodie, welcome back. Thank you guys for joining us back again. If you're a new person, welcome again too. Like I said, this is Bayou City Soccer. We have cats. We have a bunch of stuff going around in the background. But you can find everything and anything at BayouCitySoccer.net. That's where you're gonna find all the things that we do here. Everything that we write. After the games, we have ratings. We do so much stuff here at Bayou City Soccer, and there's only one spot where you can get everything. Is BayouCitySoccer.net. If you have the FootMob app, you can actually find us in the tab of news under Dynamo Dash or Dynamo Dos, so you can also find us there. And then if you want to get even more plugged into everything that we're doing, we do have a Discord group for $3, which goes a long way for us. And I know that it might be just a little bit for you guys, maybe. You can join the Discord where we have match day chats. We have a bunch of information there. Whenever we talk to players or coaches and anything like that, you guys get priority. And we actually get some questions from you guys to actually ask the players or the coaches. So it's a little community that we're building over there too, to kind of, connect everybody. And I'm sure the guys here on the chat will attest to that. And yeah, just welcome to BayouCitySoccer.net. You can find us on X, Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, literally TikTok, anywhere that you may find us there. And we have a couple sponsors. So let me just throw them out there. Ugly Guppy at uglyguppy.com. Make sure you go follow them. And anything that you need printed, they're going to help you out over there. Elotes Bravos at the stadium. Make sure you get some corn in a cup. Why not? Right? And a nice little agua fresca. And then the last but not least, Unisport. Unisport is one of the biggest retailers in the world when it comes to soccer. So make sure they have 2 locations here in the city of Houston. One in Tomball, one in West Chase right there, Gessner and Westheimer. Huge store. So make sure you guys jump in there. And whenever you go and shop there, you can tell them that you came from us, from Bayou City Soccer. You'll get a little bit discount there for your purchases. So make sure you use that and let them know that you came from us. And that's it.
Yeah, well done, man. I was trying really hard not to laugh because your cat loves to talk to you when you're talking. He was all the attention, man.
Literally, like I started yapping and he's like, "Eh."
Did you have one cat only?
Just one. We had 2. One of them passed away, so I think I guess he gets lonely.
Yeah, it's like finally somebody can talk to.
Somebody to yap with.
Clearly, he's a soccer fan too, man. But yeah, glad that everybody's in here. It doesn't seem like Madelyn is back. So Christian, if you see it somewhere on one of our feet somewhere, let me know. And obviously, I can see her when she pops out here. It makes a noise. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started, man. We're gonna try to shoot for about an hour or so. We always say this, but I think we can do it, Christian. But going into the Dynamo news, we'll start off with Guilherme. This is such a dumb thing in the sense of like this guy should have been like first ballot entry to this All-Star game, right? Like there shouldn't be a doubt. His numbers are there. He showed it over the weekend, and we'll talk about that as well. But I mean, Guilherme, he's a superstar. His numbers, if you're a stats person, if you are not a stats person, if you're just looking for good soccer, pretty soccer, a difference maker, he is the guy. He is the truth. He is what the Houston Dynamo have been looking for a long time.
Mhm.
And I know I personally, and I know many others probably did, but whenever they were talking about bringing him in, I was like, man, they got the wrong Brazilian from Santos, right? That was the joke. And I mean, now you see that. I mean, this guy has just been amazing, man. Just talk a little bit of Guilherme, overall from the season before we go kind of from the actual games that happened this weekend.
Yeah, so season-wise, going into this last game on Saturday, he had already 7 goals and 4 assists, which is really, really good. I mean, that's 11 goal contributions. And then he added 2 more. He added a goal and another assist. So that bumps him up from 11 to 13 in 15 MLS games. So in 15 MLS games, he has 13, goal contributions. I think I was actually looking him up right now. He has to be one of the best players in the league, if not. I think he's in the running for sure as a newcomer of the year. If he's not top 2, then I really don't know who else could. I'm sure Dustin and Joey can probably on top of their head name a couple of other guys that could be competing for that. But I mean, I think Guilherme literally took this whole league by storm. So halfway through, he was already feeling himself, and I think now that the Dynamo's kind of rolling a little bit better, and they have they're gelling a little bit better, and we see guys like Bogusz have a good night, and hopefully that keeps going. That only means that Guilherme can just keep growing and keep stacking those numbers. So for a guy that has never played in this league, doesn't know the rhythm, the traveling, the weather, and all these different things that maybe he's not accustomed to, even the physicality of the league, coming in and just putting in numbers as the ways that he has done. I think Guilherme deserved a spot in that MLS All-Star, and I think he got host, as some people would say, but I think divine justice, ball don't lie, as they say, and he got called up. I mean, obviously other things had to happen, but I mean, he's a great replacement for a guy named Messi, if you wanted to replace him, right?
Yeah, and funny enough, we were joking about how he had been better than Messi, right? Stat-wise, that we could see the ratings and all that stuff. But Maddie, welcome to the show. Hopefully you don't get booted out again. But yeah, just any thoughts you may have on Guilherme, feel free to add it.
Yeah, he's been so. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Am I glitching a little?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Okay, we might have to work with it. I reset the Wi-Fi, but that's how it's going today.
That's fine.
Okay, so yeah, he's been great for me, honestly. He complete standout. I think I have him as my standout player for the Dynamo. That was my prediction, and he has done that. I think seeing him in that first friendly game against the Red Bull, you just saw how good of a player he was going to be and how hard he was going to work.
Yeah, exactly. He's been fantastic, and like Chris said, he took the league by surprise. Nobody really expected for him to be as good as he was. Everybody, like myself, wanted Neymar,
especially that 2-minute highlight reel of him missing goals.
Yeah, that was interesting. But we did make fun of that in the sense of like, dude, this guy hasn't played a minute, right, for the Dynamo, and for people to already been putting this. I mean, granted, this wasn't even the Dynamo fan. I think they posted that video, if I'm not mistaken, but it was from Santos when he was there, and it's just like the main thing that we talked about or took away from that video was the fact that how many times he was getting in front of goal. We're like, we just wish that was something the Dynamo would do. I'm like, I'm okay if he's there missing every single time, but it just seems to happen. All right, guys, we'll get into we'll talk most about the game against Austin. However, there was a game on Wednesday when the season restarted for the Dynamo. It was a 1-1 draw against DC United. I think most of us saw it as a very I mean, DC United has been playing well since the restart, and they have very good players, but it did seem like a very disappointing game. Wouldn't you guys agree with that, Maddie?
Yeah. That game, for me, it should have been 3 points. It was such a stupid goal to give up, and then it felt like they just couldn't get their movement back and get on the attack afterwards. So for me, I did, you get a point out of it, but really it should have been 3 points. When you've lost points against other teams, you have to get all 3 points there.
Yeah, especially if you look at the stats, Chris, and I mean, the Dynamo held possession pretty much the entire game, and DC gets basically one opportunity and puts it away. and ties the match. So I think, whenever you have 20 shots and 5 on goal or 5 on target in comparison to only 7 for DC United at home, you always take that as very disappointing, man.
Yeah. No, yeah, 100%. And especially when you add all the factors of like, well, obviously you're playing at home with like crazy weather, right? That we see here in Houston, especially, during the summer days like that. And knowing DC maybe doesn't get the same amount of heat that we do here, or at least the suffocation of that heat and just everything, the humidity and all that. And then coming back from a long, just break that, you're supposed to have the complete upper hand when it comes to just anybody coming to your house. But yeah, and I think it was very frustrating. Obviously, it was the first game back, at first real competitive. I don't think you can count, the friendlies as real competitive because, not everybody's going to 100%. It's mostly to get the body, adjusted and all those things. But going 100%, it was very frustrating. And I think we all have some type of PTSD in a sense, right? We're like, oh, the freaking Dynamo's back, the Dynamo of all the old days is back. The one that, lets the ball go in at the last minute, who's going to get, tied up in the last minute, who's not going to be able to close out games. But we say that, right? But we're always thinking about like a couple years back. I feel like the Dynamo since Ben Olsen has been, at the head of the team, has changed tremendously, like, in play. I mean, Benny Ball, like, as much as we make fun of it, it has become an actual thing. He has given an identity of play to the Houston Dynamo that I feel like we've never seen before. So he does come with an idea of play. Maybe you don't like it, maybe it's not your thing, but there's an identity. And I feel like we all like see the goodness of everything, right? Like they played a good game and all that, and you can just say, well, the ball just didn't go in. But at the end of the day, it's still frustrating that the ball didn't go in because you create so many chances, and you have, the Maguire now, the new addition,
Yes.
And you have Ponce and, maybe Markinich or Markanich or whatever we want to say, but you have guys that are fighting and competing, and you have the power. I mean, Bogusz is also one of the guys that maybe we would have kept talking about if he didn't score a brace on Saturday. So it's one of those things that it just kind of frustrates you because you knew that they have the power to score goals. Jack McLean, to throw another name, and it's just kind of frustrating that it just ends in a 1-1.
Yeah, Jair mentioned that, and that's what I was going to touch on. Just the importance of just seeing a healthy and definitely seems like a very fit Hector Herrera who gets that goal. To
beautiful goal.
Yeah, very good goal. Basically, passed it into the goal, and it was great. So you take a 1-1, you move, you have to quickly move away from it because there was a game over the weekend. But you didn't lose. The positive streak continues, and now we get like a beautiful picture like this guy you mentioned. Bogusz, which they I don't know if you realized or if you heard it, but they use the answer to your question, Christian, at post presser the Dynamo did when he's talking about Mati Bogusz getting heat. The game before, and they didn't really mention that he had a kid. Granted, there he goes.
I thought he had a kid before.
No, he recently just had a kid. Okay. They all ththese guys from like Poland, what's it called, Serbia, Croatia. Kids, huh? They're all having kids. Similar,
because his wife was pregnant when they were at Cruz Azul, right?
Correct.
Like one of the big
just got him pregnant. Correct.
Okay. That was a long pregnancy.
Yeah, she was.
It feel long.
It did feel that long,
right? Especially with that World Cup in between, your just time it got distorted. I mean, it's only been 7 months.
As a father, and I know, Madelyn, you're not there yet. You will be, eventually, possibly. But whenever he was saying, like, you guys know what it feels like, it literally like flashed back to when my kids were not sleeping, or I was getting 2-3 hours of sleep every single night for like 9 months to a year. It was absolutely awful. And sacrifice that you have to make.
I cut my hair for my first kid because I would wake up in the middle of the night. So I had long hair, and I would wake up in the middle of the night to like give my wife a break. So the 2-3 o'clock in the morning feeding, I would take it, and then I would go with like all my hair, and then like I would have the baby, and the hair would like. So I was like, man, like this is too much. So I literally cut my hair. So I could make it easier for myself to take it away.
I have a story, and I'm thinking if to say it or not. I
Go
think
for
it's
it, bro.
hilarious. So yeah, this is definitely kid related. But I remember when my first son, like when my son was born, he's the oldest, and I mean, you haven't slept. You know, your wife is a mess because she just delivered a baby, and
Yeah.
you don't know what to do. It's like 2, 3 in the morning. They tell you, hey, you know, you have to feed him every 3 hours. You know, like it feels like pet rock, right? I mean, they give you this instructions, and you're a new parent. You have no clue what you're doing. You're just following what they tell you, and then your mom's gonna tell you something else, and then your mother-in-law is gonna tell you something else, and everybody has an opinion, and you're just
100%.
trying for this kid not to melt, right? And
Don't die.
Yeah, please. Like, you know, wrap them with bubble wrap. But we were laughing, and I think about this all the time, and it's like, especially whenever you find your person, in the sense of like, it's like 3 in the morning, nobody's asleep, and this kid just does his thing, just like poops everywhere, and like there's literally poop on the floor, like on myself. I mean, it's one of those that you have no clue what's happening. Yeah, exactly. And that whenever he said that, that's the first thing I thought. I mean, it was just one of those that. And like, you can't be mad or anything. Like, what do? You just laugh. You just laugh because you have no clue. Like, you're so tired. And so yeah, whenever he mentions like, oh, you guys remember like the first, it's like, yes, I'll never forget that.
And it's funny you say that, because a lot of people in the room were like nodding their head, yes. Like at least 5, 6 different people were like, yeah, we remember.
Yeah, no, it's
true.
It's definitely for sure interesting. But yeah, going to the game, and I'm sorry I say poop too much. We'll call it duty, whatever you want to call it. But was it that book? Everybody Poops, right? There's a book for that. But Shell Energy Stadium, Austin FC, a 3-0 win from the Houston Dynamo on Saturday. I put a bogus fast-paced brace, which that's what we got. And yeah, our friend David Castro put the baby gave Bogus a great motivation. He came back from the World Cup break like a completely different player. I absolutely agree. By the way, that was a really good picture that our friend Ricky Vega, shout out to Ricky the GOAT, took of Guilherme there. Madelyn, you got to experience it from one side, you know, like with all the crazy loud fans that don't ever stop singing, which is fantastic. Chris, you saw it from the press box. I saw it from my living room whenever I was still changing filters and all kinds. And I was in a ladder and I was screaming, "Good!" Anyways, do not try that at home. Anyways, don't do yeah, Madelyn, tell us a little bit, man. I mean, really fast goals, 3 goals within less than 30 something minutes, right? And I'll play the highlights in the background as well. But you guys can already let us know your perspective of the game.
Yeah, I think for me, it was really scary seeing that lineup. You see Artur and Jack McGlynn not starting, and you see Ponce back up in the starting 11 instead of Maguire, and you're thinking, what has been done here? And I was like turning to people around me, and I was like, guys, I don't know about this lineup. All for me to like turn back around, and Bogus scores the first goal. And that seemed like it was the flip for the commentators too, because I went back and watched on Apple TV. It was completely just, oh my gosh, Austin's franchise has built this team up completely. All of this, just a complete switch by the third goal for the Dynamo. And it was like, they just sacked their coach and their sporting director. What does Austin even know about football? All of this. And I was like, wow, what a switch up. But that's kind of how we felt. It was like a little nervous those first few minutes. And then it just felt like the Dynamo just completely found their groove, and it went great from there.
Yeah, I like the fact that you talk about the lineup, because yes, I totally agree. A lot of changes from the midweek. You still got
sorry, the OSHA comment got me.
You got Jonathan Bunn in goal. Obviously, he's your starter, even though we've had some questions in our join Bayou City Soccer on Discord, and you'll find out. But obviously, Resh has been fantastic. I know, Chris, you can definitely say that you love Resh. It's okay.
I love Resh.
Lucas Halter had looked good. Obviously, he came out with one thing that we didn't talk about from the DC game, obviously concussion protocol, and he, I guess, felt it, so that he had to be pulled out. And I didn't really want to go too much into DC because we did have the reaction, what's it called, recording after the game. Just FYI, if you didn't catch it. We didn't do it for Austin because we have too many people at the game. So it was going to be difficult for me to just talk by myself. But Chacha does a good job. He comes in. Cheeky Busad comes in, as you guys mentioned, right? McGlynn and Arthur get bench over them. And then obviously Hector Herrera, the captain, plays 90 minutes in this match. Ridiculous. Felipe Andrade, Nali, to my liking, has not been that great the last 2 games. He's struggled going up. Defensively, he's been doing much better. I will give him that. But man, he can't dribble around my grandma, and well,
and crutches.
And, yeah. Guilherme, Ponce, and Bogush. Ponce has been put in such a great effort, and I left this here so you guys could see the lineup as if you're watching with us live. But yeah, it's Guilherme. Bogush has the thing that we've been wanting and hoping for this 2 players was shown this game. Ponce also played really well, but the guy just can't score a goal. And I don't think the highlight will be here. And I know, let me move it a little forward. We get to see Bogush first goal. But that transition was fantastic for that first goal. No. So, Christian, man, you're your commentator. Voices, go for it, man.
No, well, going back to that, I mean, I think one of those things that they realized was that Austin was playing really high. That's one of the things that Alex Parra mentioned on the broadcast. Alex Parra had some funny jokes. But when you see, they're playing so high that when you start, kind of crisscrossing, that's where you get them because the guys don't know who to defend. Because, I mean, a beautiful run from everybody. From Ponce, from Bogush, from Guilherme also getting the ball and moving to one side to kind of open up the field. It's just honestly like the play, the more you see it, the more beautiful it gets. Because I feel like everybody was just like on another level mentally, just like the movements, even Ponce giving it away. I thought he was going to just take it himself and take a shot, which, you're right there, outside the box. You've been wanting the goal so bad. Why not do it? Right. I mean, sometimes you got to be selfish like that as a striker, but I think he made the best decision was to find Bogush probably with a better angle and Bogush had to finish, and we have to remember that on Wednesday, Bogush had a one-on-one with the goalkeeper with a terrible finish, so it was a redemption. One thing that it also helped the guys score goals was that Stuver sucked. Like, I don't know, he was just like freaking.
I have a really funny story about him.
Go for it.
He was right in front of the supporters, obviously, and we were yelling at him before, and he normally, like goalkeepers, some of them will just completely ignore you, some of them will like feed into you, so of course we're calling him like Harry Kane and stuff, and he's responding back to us. Well, he comes out of like their little huddle, and instead of like, like sometimes players pray or whatever, instead of like facing forward, he turns around and just stares at us before kickoff, and then like of course he goes and gets scored on, and he has to come right by us to get his ball, and we're like, but yeah, it was really funny. Like I don't know what he was trying to do, but he had a little. I did not like the attitude I was getting from him, so it was really nice when he had to come real close to us to get the ball, and we could just like scream at him.
Yeah, and it's funny because obviously Austin's coming from beating Seattle, a Seattle team that's clearly struggling, right? I mean, I think we talked about this on our Discord, the fact that 5 games without winning, basically losing, I think all 5 of those games. And so, now it kind of makes you think like, well, Austin beat Seattle, Houston beat Austin, like who's the worst team out of, those 2? And But I mean, talking about what you were talking about, Manny, regarding the commentators, I can't remember the other guy's name, but Max Britos is the one of the commentators. We've talked to him in the past. We've got lucky enough to get him on the podcast before. He's a LAFC, the voice for LAFC, and he does all that. But he's I will say he's not very. I mean, he's a little biased because he has like a really good, LAFC team to follow with superstars. But yeah, I went back as well in the morning after you said like, "Hey, did you listen to the commentators?" And I was like, "Oh my god, yeah, that's so true." Like, it was very like one-sided. And first 10 minutes was all LAFC has started so well, and bam, like literally they said that, and commentator curves, Dynamo scores, and then so forth and so forth. So. No, I did find it pretty fascinating, the way that they were kind of approaching the game. But yeah, I mean, Houston was exploiting those. And the highlight was here.
That
Yeah,
was
Ponce had a
sitter, dude.
wide open. I don't want to make fun of too much.
I wrote it
of
down in
this
my
guy,
notes.
but yes. Okay, I didn't realize it was actually in the highlight reel. But he was wide open. Like, there's no way that you cannot. Like, you need to hit the target as the striker. It wasn't like a really bad. I mean, he could even brought it down, and like for the lineman to just say, "Nope, that's a goal kick." Like, how embarrassing is that? You know, like you have to get that on frame. And then yeah, I just thought it was funny. Yes, Manny, sorry.
No, you're good. I had like a little funny moment on there because so I'm behind the goal. Sometimes I'll look for myself, and I had remembered that moment. And if you look at the very bottom corner, I'm like screaming at him, like pointing, just like everyone's on a roll. How can you not score that?
Yeah, totally. David, what's up, David? He said, "How much those two drop points against DC hurt?" I don't think they necessarily hurt. I mean, they could come back and hunt you, but I mean, at least it didn't lose. Yeah. I mean, maybe
it was one of those like you felt you didn't win a point, but you lost two. Like sometimes there's games that you're losing and you tie it up, and you're like, well, we didn't lose.
There's
we
a
gained
great ball too from Chiqui Bozat, fantastic. And then
Bro,
I mean,
everybody was on point.
That little celebration, that's fantastic. I love it, and I'm so glad. Like I said, we put that clip together. And it had to finish with our guy Guilherme, getting that too. One thing that I don't, it obviously is muted, but on the very first goal, I found it funny that I think the commentator said like how it was a counter attack, and I'm like, how was it a counter attack when it came from a goal kick from Bond? Like that's what started it. He literally passed it to a defender, and then they went up forward from there. I was like, I don't get. That's not a counter. That's not a counter attack.
If anything, which is something Ben Olsen talked about, was how they're trying to be a better transition team, and I think that's what it was probably, right? Like just a better team, like playing quick, because sometimes you feel like a lot of teams, or at least the Dynamo, they kind of build up slow. And you're just like,
this right here. I really thought that Ponce was gonna open his scoring here. It was such a and then there was I think may had already happened, but Ponce set up that first goal so well for Bogusz, and then Bogusz tried to do the same, but he just killed him in the pass. And I'm like, see, he doesn't get to the service he deserves at times, and so it's difficult. I mean, he just missed that header in front of goal, as we spoke about, but still. And then the second half was basically the same. Not really much change. I mean, Bond had to make a couple of saves like this one. But apart from that, it was relatively quiet second half. So, Houston did what they needed to do. I know there's probably still people out there that saw Houston Dynamo win 3-0 and still won Ben Olsen out for whatever the reason.
I don't. I wish I could speak to those people, because I don't understand. Like,
I just want to know what their life is like. How miserable are you that it's like, oh, my team just won 3-0, but screw it, let's restart.
It's the best Dynamo since like 2006, 2007, and if you for some reason like don't see it, like I don't get it. Like I get whenever, like, for example, there was that drought of 10 games, I think it was last season, when they couldn't win anything, and then obviously it made everything difficult for the playoffs at the end, and missing the playoffs, it's kind of one of those things that pisses you off. But I mean, overall, if you look at Ben Olsen, I think he does have a winning record with the Dynamo. And like I said earlier, like Ben Olsen gave the Houston Dynamo an identity. Like when you think of the Houston Dynamo, I think a lot of teams know what the Houston Dynamo is about. Like as a team, as a playing structure, as ideas. Like
you're so right, because I think it's a lot of the correct characteristics that he's developed into the team, because tactically he does change pretty like a lot. If you really, the way he approached DC, the approach he used Austin, we've seen the formation switch, and obviously more noticeable this year than in the past for sure. But Dago asked a very good question. Do you think this team beats the 2023 squad? Absolutely.
Probably.
You have a guy named Guilherme that seems like he can do everything. And because of that, I think you have to put him. There hasn't been a player for the Dynamo that scored the goals and the assists that a player like Guilherme has this year.
You know what I was thinking? I don't know. This might be thinking way too ahead, but I was thinking that day because I was writing my notes. If you have Guilherme, right now he has.
Wait, hold up. Hydration break. Maddie was doing it.
Hydration break.
Boo! I'll be the people.
We got 3 minutes, right? Commercial break. All right,
bro.
sorry.
3 minutes is a lot. Hey, but if anybody wants to sponsor us, we are open to have a 30-second hydration break in between for your sponsorship. So
I mean, the Dynamo got wipes to sponsor them. Do we
Hey.
have to show how you use the wipes too?
100%
hydration break.
Dude wipes. If you're listening, which I know you are, I'll come out here and say I'm a wipe user sometimes, or actually all the time. I have them on deck. I actually should carry a thing of wipes, but I don't poop in public, so I keep them at home. So TMI. Yeah. But if they want to sponsor us, I mean, we're more than welcome to. I'll have Dude wipes right behind me. I don't care.
They got Uranus covered.
Hey. Uranus will always be clean. But sorry,
I had to. This was not on the topics, but it has to be inputted in here. Sorry, Christian.
That was also dumb. People getting mad about dude wipes is the dumbest shit ever. Okay, we'll go back to soccer. All right, so he has 8 goals. Let's just say that he kind of keeps the momentum going, right? And let's just say he finishes.
He has 9 goals.
He has 9 goals.
Yes.
Well, then I'm tripping then.
Because he scored last game.
I don't know what that. Chris probably has one next to. Not right now. No dude wipes right now. We have generic brand right now because they're cheaper. But if dude wipes wants to come in and drop off a few, I'm more than willing to take him.
Yeah, he has 9 goals, 5 assists.
Okay, 9 goals, even better. Yeah. So 9 goals, 5 assists. So let's just say he's going to finishes the season with 15 goals, right? If he stays a few years, let's just say 15, 30, 45, 60, right? 4 years. Let's just say he stays 4 seasons. He could become the Dynamo's all-time score leader, or whatever. Sure. Yeah, whatever that is.
And that's why
legendary status.
Going full circle to what we started with is the fact that how was he passed up? Like he should have been in the All-Star thing to begin with, but that's neither.
But that's all rigged. That's like those polls.
It's a popularity contest.
Yeah.
He unfortunately the Dynamo will never be the popular kid. We're like a cousin that lives far away. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
That's just who we are. We want to be part of the group, right? Like we come around to the parties every once in a while. And they integrate us, here and there, top 4, U.S. Open Cup. Sometimes we get to Thanksgiving and we get to stay with all the cool kids. But, we live far away. We live in a different state. So, it just kind of happens.
You mentioned that. And I remember, I think I told you guys that like playing like, EA or FIFA. One thing that's like whenever it described the Dynamo said like legendary club of the league. And I'm like, even FIFA puts more respect than the damn league sometimes, right? I mean, for the title that they have, even the final that they lost, like it's still more than some other teams. I'm looking at UFC Dallas. I'm looking at you, Austin FC, that the Dynamo have over them. But going to the stats for this specific game against Austin, again, Austin held a little bit more of the possession. It was pretty even split. I would say Austin did have a couple more shots, but Bond, somebody we've been critical here on the show as well. And, whether he's the guy, going forward as a keeper, clearly he's definitely Ben Olsen's man. He is his keeper.
That's their 5th clean sheet, by the way.
Yeah. So, and obviously we know that there's a couple guys, what's his name? Blake Gillingham had to be brought back because Jimmy Maurer was injured. Pedro Cruz, kind of like it's also in there. Logan Irv also had to be recalled because even though goalkeeping is a forte, it seemed like out of nowhere everybody got injured and people had to come back. But yeah, and then just to finish up this Austin FC talk, both Mati and Guilherme both get team
So
of the match day.
Mati Bogusz, just for like a quick some stats, his last brace was April 13, 2024 against Timbers. So he's back in a way. And then I have minute 58, one of my notes, it says Mati missed 2 more chances. And then I put looking like 2024 Mati Bogusz. So I think it's a question that I brought up to
Dago spitting facts. Sorry, Atletico Dallas.
They just signed Chicharito.
Come on,
100%, 1000%, a lot better instantly than FC Dallas ever will.
Yeah.
Biggest signing ever in Dallas, and they have a team for like 25 years. But yeah, I was saying Mati Bogusz, and I think Ben Olsen kind of said, right, like maybe this is the opening that Mati Bogusz needed to kind of become the 2024 Mati Bogusz, which is something that I wrote down on my notes on the first goal, which was that we needed Ponce and Bogusz to show up, and they did, right, like an assist and a goal, and then Mati would come back and score another one, and I think it brought the best of everybody, because we kind of talked about it like slightly, but Bosat was probably had his best game as a Dynamo player. And then, I mean, if you just go,
I think Bond had probably their best games, this season.
You go to the center backs. I mean, talked about Resh. Ben Olsen said, he's not playing like a freaking guy from college. He said, once he starts playing like a college draft, then I'll take him out. But he's not. He's playing like very professional soccer, and he's making it super difficult to kind of, who am I going to put in that, double?
Hey, I'm glad that you brought that back, because obviously there was those rumors regarding Eric Zviachenko as well. Yes. It looked very like that it was going to happen. Just from things that I would see on social media, it looked a little odd that it looked like he was already leaving. But the whole thing, and I think, Maddie, you were the one that shared it maybe, but it was the fact that the injury to Antonio Carlos kind of halted that.
Speaking of Halter,
I had to make a punt. Yeah,
that was but Halter really was. He was like, obviously the goal scorers. Yes, you need to score goals to win games, so they get MVP. But Halter, like when I see, because I'm right there and I can see pretty much everything going on in that back line, like he has really impressed me from the DC game to this game. He is going to be a huge improvement having him for the second half of the season.
And just giving a little shout out, talking about Lucas. I don't know if Manny. I mean, I keep calling you Manny because I was with Manny all freaking Friday when the Dash came. But Maddie, the videos that you made, you had Sergio from the search. He looks just like Lucas Halter. If he doesn't dress as Lucas Halter for Halloween, that he's doing it wrong. So
you
Sergio,
think so?
Yes, I'm telling you.
I don't see that at all.
Yes.
It's a mustache.
He is tall and has a mustache. Trust me. Like you put them close enough, they're like twins. They're very close. But Sergio, are you listening? You're probably not listening, but yeah, that should be look into that. All right, guys. You mentioned Lucas Holt, and then I feel like everybody was very solid. Christian, anybody else you want to add?
Yeah, one more person that I think we mentioned him briefly, but I think he deserves a little bit, just a couple more seconds. Is that at 36 years old, Hector Herrera, 100 appearances,
Cappy,
and finished the whole game.
Yes,
and it was hot.
Yes.
I mean, it was hot, it was humid, and he was just running it. And then at the end, he put on the armband. I mean, the dude is literally like the epitome of a captain that you want to have on the field. And one of the things that Ben Olsen also talked about, having a guy that in the beginning, he didn't know how he would fit in. He basically came in to the team through a side door, and he was like, hey, can I come back? And they were like, sure, but we don't know if we're going to use you. And then now he's playing full 90 minutes, controlling the midfield, controlling the tempo. The dude gives you controls the tempo when you're winning, controls the tempo when you're losing. He can put you a perfect ball, as we saw on that second goal. Or was it the second goal? No, one of the goals. Yeah, the second goal to Mati Bogusz over the head. Yeah. The dude we don't have to say it, right? Like, yeah, he's a freaking,
like, we know what he was, and there was question marks because he left in bad terms with the Dynamo, but he went to Toluca, a place that he hardly played. So you
Yeah.
didn't expect, when we started in the season, when he got signed, in the beginning of the season, we never expected him to ever see him play 90 minutes again, right?
Yeah.
He played
100%.
70 something minutes against DC. He plays 90 minutes against Austin, as a lot, maybe more than they expected, but he's still playing at a high level. He
100%.
understands his role. He understands that he's not the man anymore per se, right? I think this is the first time that he had the captain armband the entire game,
Yeah.
because I know that at other times he's given it to Arthur.
He
knowing
did
that
go to that happened. He did go to, but it was right when a throw was happening, and he was like, he's just stayed in position. Artur was
Yeah.
like, no, go back. So
Yeah, so I think he understands his role. I mean, we've seen him put the armband on Jack McGlynn right as he was trying to make the World Cup roster. Like this guy
He understands
Hector,
moments.
I understands. He's definitely a leader inside and outside the field with his team, and so that's very important. And I think that it was really needed and missed last year when you saw so many personalities that had similar characteristics weren't there, right? And so Chris,
sorry,
you
no,
reminisce?
I'm reminiscing in the whole Jack stuff, because you don't really think about it too much, but like what he did right there is such a big demonstration of like, not to be weird, but like love, right? Like
no, it was.
The dude, he's like, bro, this is your chance to possibly make it into a roster. We know that you're on the edge,
especially being a Mexican national player to a U.S. national player, right?
Like,
because we always hear about this conflict and like this hatred and all this stuff, but it's like he understands it. He understands that it's bigger than him or the sport as well, in essence. And I mean, it's great. It's great. And obviously he's going to miss whenever he's not there. But I mean, it makes you think that like he loved the city of Houston. He understood the project. He, liked working under Van Olsen. Obviously has really good teammates. And, Dago talks about Hector and Ponce hanging out all the time. Yeah, trust us. We talk about it too.
They're just alike.
Yeah. But I was thinking also he was like babysitting Mateo Rana for a while, it seemed like too. So maybe that helped him as well,
true.
right?
And when Diego was around, Diego would always speak highly of him. Like you can tell the guy not only looks at the guys that are potentially in the national team, but also at the guys that maybe don't have a room, and are playing MLS Next Pro, are going to go to USL. Like he's very aware of like the structure of the club as well, because having his son playing in the academy and all these things, the dude is probably like super embedded, and he seems like he has like not like a coach player relationship with Ben Olsen, but more like a coach, like, hey, let me give you some pointers from inside the field to the out. Because there was at one point where I think it was, I forgot who it was that wasn't opening up on the I think it might have been Resh that did something, and then Hector looked at Ben and told Ben to yell at Resh. I think it was something like that. It was to yell at somebody, but he was like, hey, I'm not gonna do it like you do it as a coach, but I'm telling you, like, he needs, like, check him real quick, because he's not listening to me right now. But it is just like those little like nuggets of relationships that you see, other than like the sport side of the thing, right? Which we know he's great.
Yeah,
but, like,
and I love that you mentioned about Reg, because now thinking back, I mean, obviously he has a good eye for talent, right? I think he does realize that some of these guys are good. Like, he sees, I guess if you even want to be a little philosophical, like he sees himself in a bunch of these guys and the way that they're approaching their career. But you're talking about Resh, and I do remember like one of the very first preseason games, I was sitting in a corner, right? Because it was kind of like open play and not a lot of restrictions with the league and stuff. And I was just there sitting next to Ricky Vega, another shout out to Ricky Vega. But, him and him being Hector, and like obviously was with the bench with the substitutes, but he was just very like talkative and just with Resh, and he would say like how basically, hey, Resh is a baller, basically. Like he kept telling, you could hear the conversation, and Hector kind of went to Ricky as well, and like the conversation was like, okay, he sees something in certain players, and now I hadn't mentioned it because I hadn't thought about it, but now looking back, it's like little, things like that are important because it helps the overall atmosphere of the team, guys.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think now we can look back, and Pat will never admit it, but I think them not renewing that 24 contract, even though he says it has nothing to do with that red card, I think it was an emotional, like, letting Hector go. And I think they regretted it pretty soon after they did that.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting because obviously the whole situation did not help. Granted, he was gonna make a ton of more money,
but it was
right?
the money, right?
Yeah, he was gonna make like $3 million, and I don't think we've gotten like the newest salary aspect of it, but or maybe we did. I can't remember. Yeah, I think we did. We did in April, and I mean, he's not making anything close to what he's making too. So it makes you think, right? Again, he's really doing it for the love of the game, the love of the game. Jinx, clip it, put it out there. No, but yeah, it's true, and I think that's important to note for sure. But guys, let's let
me throw a question to the chat, to the banter. Would you guys consider Hector as one of the 4 Mount Rushmore for the Houston Dynamo? Is that too early? Yes or no? I would like to hear what everybody has to say. And then who would you put there? And could Hector fit in those 4? I don't know.
Let me see. Am I? Oh yeah, no.
While we're here though, guys, there's something I want to point out that I thought, okay, this was very good from Ben, and I like that he was like owned up to it. Is when we asked about Arana not coming in, and he like owned up that he got spooked.
Yeah,
I actually did. I was like, you know what, good for you, Ben, for like owning that, and also making the decision to not make the sub, even though fans were probably pressuring that sub. And I think Arana deserves minutes, but understanding like how big of a game it was and not wanting to be that old Dynamo that, like, not that Arana's not a good player and he would have let goals in, but do you want to like risk it? I did like that from him, that honesty.
That's true. And I feel, yes, of course, the Players Association already threw out the salaries. It's just this break in the summer during the World Cup. It feels like it was like a year since we've had MLS and this came out. But to answer the salary aspect of it, I mean, he's making about $500,000. That's like 6 times less of what he was.
I was thinking 800, but
yeah,
he's even less than that. Wow.
For what he brings is crazy, right? I mean, he's still a solid player. But let's go ahead and talk about the Sporting Kansas City match coming up. I did not check. Oh man, it's not week 8, of course. It's week 17, I believe. But I'll confirm that here. I just realized my typo. My apologies. But Sporting Kansas City is not in the best of places. I mean, they're just kind of in a rebuild season at this point as well. That they I have the thing here, which actually the guy in the picture, he's scoring goals, so he's going to be an absolute threat. So Sporting Kansas City, the last 3 games, they lost against St. Louis City. They're rivals, 3-2 match. That was a good match. I got to watch that one because that's when it kind of all restarted as World Cup was still happening. Then they beat Minnesota 2-1, who's also in the starting rebuild. And then LAFC just beat them 4-0.
Murdered.
So, yeah, it's not looking great, but it's week 17 there we're heading into in this matchup. Again, interesting team. Look at that, San Diego.
Jesus Christ.
My goodness. Okay, and but yes, as far as starting 11, one guy that is not in here is Ethan Bartlow, who you would have thought that he would just like, become part of the starting 11. He got that opportunity, and honestly, he has not been great.
He bamboozled.
So you feel for them, or for him. And yeah, this team in Sporting Kansas City is definitely an interesting one. I think that it could, become one of those trap games that everybody kind of mentions. Team that is not doing all that great. Obviously, are dead last in the Western Conference and with 14 points. Can Houston Dynamo get a win? We know that this for a long time felt like a bigger rivalry than even the FC Dallas game, and how quickly those turn. Now I feel like RSL became that rivalry now. So it's interesting, but Sporting Kansas City, I've been to that stadium. It's a very intimate stadium, similar to the St. Louis stadium that we went to, Christian, in that sense. The fans their ultras. I guess you want to call them that. They're behind one of the goals. It feels like a wall. The crowd can definitely get pretty heavy, but with the amount of, you know, bad season they're having to an extent, and I know they're trying to get out of that uh last place. It's rough, right, as a fan. But what are you looking forward to this type of matches, Christian? I mean, I know maybe not specifically this lineup and like, but
Yeah.
just again, to an extent, right? A rivalry. It's a rivalry.
So one of the questions that somebody asked Ben Olsen was about, the starting lineup, comparing Wednesday to Saturday, right? Obviously, sometimes you got to manage minutes and stuff like that. And he even said that, right? Like, I can stand behind or hide behind the fact that I make these changes with managing minutes. But the thing now is that they have a full week to get ready for it. So the idea of managing minutes is not going to be there. He's going to have to play his best 11. So it's going to be interesting to see what he thinks is his best 11, right? With Mawire, with McGlynn, with Bosa, with Chache, like all these guys that, maybe sometimes replace each other here and there, Ponce. It's going to be interesting to see what the starting lineup, will be. And if that starting lineup will have the same intensity as they did against Austin, right? Where you kind of mentioned it. Sometimes it felt like a rivalry match with Sporting Kansas City for a lot of years, actually, and I feel like it still might have that, right? Just a little bit. But like you said, they're not coming from a good time, and the Dynamo are kind of riding high. So it's like, just keep the intensity. But it would be what intrigues me the most is just to see how the starting lineup is going to be and what Ben Olsen thinks his best 11 guys, are looking like. So I think that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, and I'll just obviously this is the first game between these clubs this year. Last year, Sporting Kansas City beat Houston. If you guys remember that crazy game.
Do remember that game.
How
That
can
was
you
my
forget?
graduation. My whole family came for that
Yeah,
game. Embarrassed me.
Javalik. They had just traded for Javalik, and he scored, I think, 2 goals in that game, and so it's 3-1. Then Sporting, then the tie 0-0 in Kansas in October. So, again, this games are very interesting, and again, it can easily seem, the Dynamo's on a good spot currently in 5th place. Sporting Kansas City way down there in the table, but trap games are trap games. Now, but if we're looking at this game and we're looking at Houston, and we understand obviously Guilherme is a part of the MLS All-Star, and he's, I would say, the heart currently of the team when it comes to the attack. He is in Charlotte for this. I don't know if he's going to be a part of the skill contest or not. He will likely get minutes against the Liga MX match. But will you be able to, prepare without him? Will we see some shifts? Will we see some changes, you think, when it comes to Guilherme, Chris, in this matchup as you try to get minute? And I mean, you expect a win, at least a draw, I guess?
No, I expect to win for sure. But no, I don't think it's necessary to have Guilherme, like, when you see him play, he's very free. Not comparing to Messi at all, right? But he plays that role of like, okay, you just attack, like, we leave the defending to us, we'll take care of it. Obviously, he does defend because the system kind of is designed for everybody to defend and everybody to attack, in some sense. But I think you can just plug and play with Guilherme. He's so talented, and I feel like he knows, right, the team already so well that he's not the factor that you like it, might change. Like, he's going to be a for sure thing, for sure. The factor is the people around him, right? And can Anali, wake up in a sense. He didn't do bad, but he also wasn't like extra out there this last game. Obviously, he was being more defensive, more careful, and stuff like that. So, are we going to see Anali kind of push more?
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Different things.
If you don't have a Guilherme, Matty, are you pushing up an alley and bringing in Aliu, or are you playing Aliu, bringing an alley? What if you don't have Guilherme, which we know, you picked him for your
That's my guy.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
your guy for the MVP of the season. So far, he's proving it for for Houston. But without Guilherme, how are you picturing this team in that sense? For just for one game against Sporting Kansas City?
I think you could let Jack play more on the attack. I think Jack has dropped back more defensively with Guilherme there, but you could bring Jack up like he was doing last season or use a Nolly too, either way. Or maybe this is the game. I'm always hopeful for Ponce. Maybe this is the game he remembers how to score goals. I would love to see that. I do have to give his credit. He got that good assist. I did give him that, but that's something I would like to see. And I actually did forget about Aliu until
You
I
mentioned
saw. I think I saw Semi Sekou, and Aliu used to be number 18, and they look alike.
Yes,
And
yes.
so I saw number 18. I was like, is Aliu out there? And I was like, oh my gosh, no, that's Semi Sekou. And then I was like, where's Aliu been? So maybe this is a game you get minutes for. I don't know. This is I know this is like a rivalry between the Dynamo and Sporting, but this is like a big family rivalry for me too, because Sporting KC is the closest
Bragging
one to my
rights.
family up in Oklahoma.
Yes, there you
So
go.
I need this win from the team just personally.
Yeah, no,
Make some phone
absolutely.
calls to Arthur and stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Uh, yeah, no. So looking forward to this match. I guess we have to predict it. I'm gonna go ahead and predict the win. I think the Dynamo can pull a win, even without Guilherme. I feel like maybe they'll struggle some because I like the way that Guilherme can be out wide, or he can come back and basically tuck in almost, in the middle of the center backs and pick out passes from there. So it does shift something just talent wise without Guilherme, but I still think that Houston, uh, the way that they've approached with Ben Olsen, as Chris you've been touching on this whole episode, is I think they know who they are. I know they know what they can do, and they're healthy enough that they can make it happen even without a star player like Guilherme. So 2-1 would be my prediction, Christian.
I'm gonna go 2-0. I think defensively they look good. Halter should be back. Concussion protocol should be done. Resh is looking solid. The guy Andrade is a beast. I think Inali is also very solid defensively too. The two guys right in front of him, I mean, they're solid as hell. No matter who you play, Bosad, HH, Samoseku, I think those guys are pretty solid. That rotation, I feel like plug and play. Like you can take whoever you want, and they're all going to be about the same. Obviously, Hector is going to give you something different, but I think 2-0 should be hopefully Ponce, scores.
That'd be so good.
But if not,
How's
Bogus,
that
I
gonna
like
feel when
Bogus.
like Ponce finally scored? It'll be. Has he scored yet this season?
No, not in regular season. He scored in the U.S. Open Cup.
Guys, we're almost to August. We haven't
Yes.
gotten
in
a goal
U.S.
from
Open
that.
Cup, he scored during the friendlies. He scored during
Friendlies.
preseason. He scored a bunch of goals in
everywhere.
preseason. Like, he
Yeah.
just steps into a regular season game and the goal is
just
right from him, and
forgets.
he just does it. So,
Yeah.
what are you feeling score wise, Maddie?
I think 1-0. I don't know that they can get multiple goals would be nice because I think we still have a rough goal difference, and that can go into playoffs. So as many goals as possible is nice, but I think 1-0 because even looking at Sporting's scores, it doesn't look like. I mean, 3-2 against your rival. Like, I mean, the Dynamo lost 3-4 against Dallas, and that wasn't an awful game for the Dynamo.
Yeah.
So I don't know that we can really say that. And then they won that next game, and then losing to LA, you can't really judge. I mean, it's LA. So, yeah, I still think Sporting may have. I haven't actually watched any of their games, but I think they could
Don't do
do
it.
something.
They're kind of.
Aren't they making like a $22 million offer?
Oh,
for a
yes,
guy
yes. That's
who
another
hasn't
thing.
scored
Andre.
anything?
They're looking at a guy named Andres Luz, I think, or Luis from Brazil. 22 million, and everybody's freaking out. Like, what is happening to Sporting Kansas City? And when I say everybody, hey, does your Argentinian buddy still cover Sporting Kansas City, or he gave up, Christian?
No, I think he's more of a River guy. He found his audience with covering River.
Yeah, because I haven't really seen him post Kansas City stuff.
No, he just lives there.
Yeah, he gave up on the team.
Yeah, he was like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, especially when they're not doing that great. My only concern, obviously, it's Jolik. I mean, their striker is a beast. I mean, he has 8 goals to his name, and so that's gonna be the matchup. There is gonna be between him and I guess Agustin Resch. Both of them are, guys that like to play a little higher up the field, and Jovic, and obviously he's good in the air as well. And going back to the love that Christian has for him, don't worry, bro. I love him too. He's such a
I love that guy.
he wins everything on the air. I mean, you
He's
have
so
to
nice too.
6'6",
I just love his story. Like his story is awesome too. Like just the way that I don't know if you guys know, but like his story is awesome. Like he literally got let go by when he was in Argentina. He's not from a big city. He's from like the country, and then he moved to like the city to play, and then he came up the academies and stuff like that. And then you get to a certain age in Argentinian soccer where they're like, hey, like thank you so much, but you're 16, you're kind of old. Like if you haven't popped off yet, like this is it. But so he tried out to another club. I think he was there for a year, and then the same thing happened. And then he found a way to get to the US via college. And he went through the whole college process, which is unheard of for an Argentinian player. Like I don't think that's a great opportunity, honestly. Like they should look into that.
Yeah.
So which also tells you that he's smart, right? If you have the grades and stuff like that.
I think he went to that's a private school too. I thought Seton Hall, whatever.
Yeah, Seton Hall. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, and he
is that not where Resh went?
Yeah, that's where he went. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then he killed it over there. Defensive Player of the Year, I think he was.
Played in USL 2, I think.
Yeah,
USL
so like
2,
had some time. Semi-pro is not really crazy.
Well, but college players tend to do it in the summer, and that's 100%. A good thing to do per se. Usually, like if you do that, yeah. I get my biggest question. Nobody, I don't think, knows the answer. When did he hit that growth spurt? That's what we need to find out, because
I'll ask him.
If you were 5'9" at 16, and then I don't know where you went 6'6", like when you were in college, yeah. Next time you see him, you need to ask that question.
And it's funny because guys from southern Argentina, they usually play basketball. So I wonder if that's another good question for him. If he was like a basketball player and then he converted to soccer or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I was going to say, so Maddie said 1-0. Chris, you said 2-0. I said 2-1. Bayou Banter, throw it on here. What do you think your prediction is for this coming match? Anything else? Any closing thoughts when it comes to the first team? Something we didn't mention, Maddie, Chris? No,
I think
we're good. I think so.
I'll see it on someday.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to watch this on TV and be excited for this on Saturday. But this game, this topic next is the Houston Dynamo 2, who are completely on fire. They're still unbeaten. They continue that streak that after defeating Austin FC 2, they went all the way to penalty shootouts, so they won there. I didn't really get to watch the penalty shootouts. I know that Austin missed one, but I don't know if it was blocked or not by Pedro Cruz. I'm gonna say yes because he always does block penalties, things like. But they're okay. Funny enough, I went to the slides, and this slides, as you can see, it says San Diego and all that. It was from like April, and then I was writing the Sporting Kansas City thing, and it was literally the exact same game, obviously different date, but same game, same venue, same time. All I had to do was change July 31st on there. But same Sporting Kansas City, we know that even though currently their first team is not doing great, they do develop a lot of players. That has been something that they create a lot of players and pipeline to the first team, and they do a really good job. And that's always going to be the case with places like that. Sporting Kansas City, Seattle, they just have it ingrained in their overall system, and that's where the Dynamo are currently working towards. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup. This is on Friday, if my math is correct. And yeah, that closes that. The one thing that obviously talking about the MLS All-Star, they are things happening tomorrow. Well, let's finish with this. Start with this. The MLS Next Pro All-Star teams play today. I didn't check again, but when I saw Matthew Arana's team was getting beat 5-0. Yeah, it was. And he wasn't even on the field, so that's how bad that was. They had to, switch everybody up. Probably got 5 goals in the first half, so everybody had to get rotated. So not great for him. You have the the skill challenge happening tomorrow, and I think that's when Pedro gets to do his Pedro things,
Holy
right?
Wars.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love the skill challenge. I will endorse that. I know people think it's the stupidest thing and it's so American, and I love it.
I agree with you. I think I like it way more than the All-Star game. To me,
Like,
the
I
All-Star
agree,
game
it's
is
Me
stupid.
pointless.
too.
I give me the skill challenge every time, like it's just something different, something fun.
Do you remember that show American Warrior back in the day?
Yes, yes.
Is
Who
those
doesn't?
vibes?
Yeah,
Everybody
that's
with
fine.
concussions.
Right.
But
I think it's
let
a
me.
lot safer for players though. I like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what's
yeah.
fun.
Oh,
And
Jay,
have you
sure.
guys seen it like in
Pedro
person?
blocked it. You
It's
got to
like
see it in Austin, right? Last year or
yeah,
2
yeah, I
years
got to
ago?
see it
Last
in
year?
Austin, and it's like
Yeah.
the sets are giant and it's like way too big, and you just like it's great.
It's meant for you to win. Like it's not meant for
It
you to
feels
lose.
very,
Meant
it's like
to
very
show your
Americanized.
skills.
It's good. It's, you know what? It's gonna be those World Cup. Like the people who were like, "Oh my gosh, I was gonna buy a Dynamo jersey, but now I'm not because it has stupid vibes on it. I hate my local team now." All of that. It's gonna have those people that are gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, like it's so American. The Americans will never be like us Europeans." That's what
Yeah,
this is gonna bring. I'm calling it
100%.
right now.
for sure, for sure.
I can hear it already.
The only All-Star game that I've been to is when it was here, like in 2010. I remember I don't even know how the
You need
hell
it
I
back.
got in. I don't even know how I got into that stadium. I probably went through security or did some kind of going through a vent of some sort. I don't know.
Some Colombian stuff
Possibly.
in Miami.
But
Uh,
I don't remember them having the skill challenge then or not. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna a quick observation. One of the things that I've in the past I noticed was that when the MLS Next Pro team is really really good, the first team is really really bad usually, right? Like it happened a couple like 3 years in a row.
That's true.
But it's interesting to see that the Dynamo, Dynamo Los is so good, and the first team is also kind of keeping up with that. So
That's a good point.
that means that something is working. So it's something, I don't know. I just thought about it when I because Kansas City had something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Their second team was really good a couple of years back, and they were crap. And then it happened with like some other teams. I think Colorado also had it 1 year, and it usually happens. So it's good to see that at least both teams are keeping up.
Well, and that's true because what's it called? Sporting Kansas City too. They're second to last in their conference. So they're keeping up. They're exactly the same as the first team.
Hey,
So they're right there. They actually have a couple more points than the first team. So look at that. They're just 2 points ahead. I'm not saying that last.
They should just play each other at this point.
Yeah, but it's quite interesting. But all right, my guys, this has been fantastic. Christian, you want to tell the people how they can connect with us?
Yes, BayouCitySoccer.net is a website, guys. Make sure you go over there, check it out. If you are on social media, which I'm sure you are, it's 2026, X, Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, TikTok, we are everywhere as Bayou City Soccer. If you have a YouTube channel, or not a YouTube channel, a YouTube account, make sure you go over there, follow us, hit the little bell, thumbs up on everything that you see from us, and just make sure you go to the website if you're looking to read any information. If you want to know what's gonna be happening in the future of who are they playing, Kansas City? Okay, what do I got to look for? Rudy usually does a great, enemy scouting report, or is that what you call it? Enemy sounds harsh,
yeah,
but it's always there. It's always there.
Enemy scouting report.
I read
Who
it.
else are you gonna scout?
Yeah, exactly. Your opponent, but I guess your enemy sounds cooler. But I always read it too before the games to kind of like see what other. I'm terrible with names.
We should put that remember the Spygate thing that was happening in England. That's what we should put. Like I'm just gonna take a picture of me. Like no, the recent one, the one that just happened with Middlesbrough. I think it was.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
The guy just by the tree with his
the website should have your picture like that.
That's what I'm saying. I should just go ahead and take a picture like that by a tree.
That would be funny. Just in between some bushes. But yeah, go ahead and check out, guys, the website, BayouCitySoccer.net. You're going to find everything and anything soccer related here in Houston. And if you guys want to support us, by supporting people that support us. Make sure you check out Ugly Guppy at uglyguppy.com. Anything printed or anything for your business that needs printing, they can help you out with that. Shirts, hats, mugs, whatever it may be, they got you over there. Elotes Bravos, if you're going to be around the stadium, make sure you get a corn and a cup, because why not? And Aguas Frescas.
Got one on Friday.
There you go. And then last but not least, Unisport, one of the biggest soccer retailers in the world. They have 2 locations here in Houston, so make sure you check them out. And when you go to the store in Tombo or West Chase area, Gessner, Westheimer, right there, make sure you tell them that you come from Bayou City Soccer, that we sent you, and you'll get a little discount on your order. So make sure you go buy some stuff over there. Do that in the shop. If you're a Mexican soccer lover, you're going to find every jersey of every team. Atlanta is back. I wonder if they have the Atlanta's jersey. I'm sure they do. They look pretty cool. So
my dad grew up an Atlanta fan, and then eventually they moved that team, so he gave up on it. I'm like,
damn.
They moved to Cancun. They moved it as far away to Mexico City as possible. You know, I know that would have been actually like, oh, I'm from Mexico City. Like, why are you a Chivas fan? I don't know. My dad.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
But
you can go buy it for your dad. Use Bayou City Soccer. You get a discount.
Yeah, and talking about content, obviously, like we try to do as much content as we can, because I think it's important to give that to the fans of the Houston Dynamo and Houston Dash and Houston soccer in general. But also, man, shout out to Maddie. Maddie, you do a really good job. I think the content, I think we're all very creative. I think that, we think of great ideas, and I love when we put them together and, knock out of the park. And shout out to you. You've been doing a fantastic job. I know you probably loan stickers if you have stickers at all, but we have some coming. So, next time that you see Madelyn at a tailgate or elsewhere around the stadium, do not be afraid. I don't think she bites. At least I have not been told
we
that she does yet. We haven't seen
we've heard stories, but we don't know.
but yeah, she ask her for a sticker, and get in front of the camera. It makes we don't make you do anything weird, right? I was really hoping. No. The only thing that I would add, I was really hoping that people were like, when you asked them about the shouting stuff, I really was hoping that people would just go pure candid, just like let her rip. Because we've done it in the past, and there's a guy which I don't think I think he moved out of town. A guy that you got to interview a couple times. He said the funniest things.
I think I remember that.
You remember?
Yeah, he went on like a full tangent.
Oh my God, it was so great. And so like, if and that guy let it rip. And I remember that whenever I went through the app that I use that creates captions, it like beeped everything, and it was so funny. So I was like, if people do it again, that'd be classic. But no, keep up the great work, Maddie. Again, everybody, thank you, Bayou Banter, man. We had over 100 and something people watching us live.
Yes,
so thank you for joining us as well. I hope that you have a very good weekend. Christian, we haven't said anything positive since we were so sour with the World Cup. Do you have anything in your mind? I think I wrote a note earlier, but if you have anything, man, or Maddie.
Even when the whole world is going against you and they think everything's like rigged or everything is in your favor and everybody just hates you because you are just good at what you do, just believe in yourself. Make sure you just continue to believe in yourself. Keep pushing forward. There's going to be people that are going to see your true self of who you are, your actual heart, the passion that you bring. Maybe you're a little unorthodox and a little bit violent, but that's just the way that you do things. And sometimes it's just people, I can't say that word, but they read it differently. Yeah. But just know that, as long as you love it and you do it for the passion and the love of the game, literally in every aspect of your life, just continue to believe in yourself and you'll pull through. I promise. Breakthrough is coming, my friend.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot of like leadership books, and one of them that actually I'm reading is one called Lead Like Lasso. So of course, it's like regarding a fan of Ted Lasso created this book, and it's interesting. However, this is not from there. I just thought of that right now. But Jay Hurtado said he needs stickers. We'll hit you up with stickers. But I did hear this cool quote that it had to do with like they were showing kind of different stars and celebrities or just people that are famous or successful. And they were showing like how many times they failed before, they became something. And the quote that they had, which I thought was great, it said, "A winner is just a loser that tried one more time." Like, how deep that is. A winner is just a loser that tried one more time. And then they finished it with winners lose more than losers even try. So, think about it the next time that you try something and you failed and you tried a couple times, just keep trying. It's great to see the success stories after the fact, because you look back and I'm like, man, I can't believe I did that. And I mean, and we can take it as far as our our daily lives to our our careers or jobs, and then obviously even like Bayou City Soccer, like the way that you do things and you try, and I know that some of us have had a longer experience, and I hate when people say like back in my day, and it's like, dude, like we all are different. We have different paths. So it's like when people have that, then you're not giving the younger generation kind of their flowers as well. And I think it's so important that people understand that, right? Like, a winner is just a loser that tried one more time. So we'll leave you with that. Christian, Madelyn, thank you once again for joining us. I said an hour. We were here an hour and 20 minutes. So just past my bedtime. With 5 more minutes, and then we had to do another hydration break at this point. But guys, really appreciate the time. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well, and we'll see you next week. All right,
you guys.
Y'all take care.
Bye, guys.